2024 was definitely a year for cosplay. My name is Nana Kay, and I'm your not-so-niche indie author and writer who apparently also finds any chance she can to dress in cosplay or themed wear. In a previous video, I shared about the first 3 of my cosplays that I wore to LeakyCon, now Enchanticon, when I visited Portland this year. In this video, I'll be sharing the cosplays I did for Fan Expo Chicago in August. My 4th cosplay was meant to kick off my time at the convention, but sadly, the week leading up to the event had zapped my energy, and I unfortunately had to sit out the first day of the 3-day event. Therefore, the cosplay was scrapped. I was going to recycle my Nana Osaki cosplay from C2E2 last year. For those who don't know, Nana Osaki is one of the main characters from the shoujo manga and anime series, Nana, a story I fell in love with years ago. It may be a niche story, but it's a compelling one. Definitely recommend. Also, contrary to what you might be thinking, no, I didn't choose that cosplay because of my name. That just happens to be a happy coincidence. I always really liked Nana's style, which merged punk rock and grunge fashion. So I really wanted to embody a cosplay that not only symbolized her as a character, but also paid homage to her signature aesthetics. Maybe I can bring it back next year instead. We'll see. Moving on to my 5th cosplay. This one was a bit of a love-hate relationship for me, honestly. I love the look, but hate the character for obvious sentimental reasons. Or at least I have a number of conflicting feelings at best. If you know, you know. Of course, I'm talking about Negan from The Walking Dead. I'm telling you, this was the easiest of all my cosplays to put together because I had all the pieces except for the infamous Lucille, the bat. And it wasn't too many layers too, so it was easy enough for me to move around in. I guess this was more of a gender bend cosplay in the sense that I was tailoring the cosplay to suit me as a woman rather than cross-playing physical features that would make me come across as more male-passing. Although I think I was able to radiate some of the masculine aura around the look from how I moved with Lucille. Although I was trying to capture the attitude of Negan as well, but that only lasted seconds. I think I often fall into the trap of being overstimulated at conventions, that I'm like a dog whipping its head at the first sign of a squirrel. So any hope of fully holding on to the mannerisms and countenance of a cosplay quickly goes out the window. I like to think that wearing the shades at least with the cosplay helped me to salvage some of that attitude at least. My 6th and final cosplay this year to date was a celebratory recognition of one of the most influential manga and anime series during my time growing up, Bleach. I really like wearing somewhat niche cosplays even if they are from known source material because it gives me room to express and showcase my love for these different works. While Bleach is not quite so niche, but I did choose a character from Bleach that didn't get a lot of spotlight and could have, in my opinion, done with far more character development along with her comrades. The Fullbringer, Jackie Tristan. I obviously had to omit a few aspects of the look, but I still managed to capture the key elements. Sadly, you can't see much of the faux fur scarf in this picture, but the trail of it is indeed behind me. It was really an awesome moment when I got a picture in this cosplay with Johnny Young Bosch, who voices Ichigo in Bleach, and whose voice acting work I've followed for many years. I was just glad I managed to stay in my heels for most of the con, but at one point I had to switch into my gym shoes and take off the faux fur scarf to give my neck air. While I wore this cosplay on Sunday where there were less people, and by less people I mean we weren't necessarily packed like sardines, but there was still a lot of people. So the air was still kind of a little bit stuffy. So of course I just had to get rid of the scarf at that point just to get some relief. If I were to do this cosplay again, there are definitely a few elements I would like to add to it or refine in some way to look a little bit better, but I think I was able to bring more of it together than I originally planned. While cosplay and wearing costume is something I've done for years, it's more recently where I've been indulging in it more. I suppose at this stage in my life, I've been able to access spaces where I can explore that side of myself more. Cosplay has been one of the areas I've been able to stretch myself creatively in terms of fashion, styling, and aesthetic appeal, because there really isn't a limit to what you can do. I love being able to imagine a look I've been inspired by and attempt to create it by adding my own spin to it. So many of us have experienced what it feels like to have our range of expression confined while presenting ourselves in certain ways in society. I believe the beauty of cosplay comes from the freedom to stretch not only our reality, but also our imagination. It affords us a chance to remold ourselves as we continue to explore the different parts of ourselves and draw upon the more expressive aspects of our personality. It's that very idea that actually inspired me to explore those themes in one of my essays. In case you haven't already, feel welcome to check out my essay about cosplay and self-identity available on Medium. I talk through our relationship with masquerade, the history of cosplay, and the influence costume has on how we present ourselves in different social contexts. Hope you enjoyed hearing this tale of my cosplay experience this year, and hopefully my work continues to resonate with you.